Well, Grant, are you feeling like you're building a bit of momentum, having had the, well, I guess points on the board is always great to have the two draws, but with the performances as well?
Yeah, they've been two decent performances, particularly at Bournemouth. Um, we had to dig in at times. Obviously, as you've seen in the Stoke game, we had to you know match them physically, but also making sure that we're aggressive in everything that we've done. We showed good resilience to come back. Obviously, being 1-0 down, then 2-1 down. So that gives the boys a real good platform to build off for the games ahead.
And one of the crucial elements, really, of the past week, and it hasn't happened for Posh a lot this season, to link two strong performances to points-winning performances together.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I say, I can't speak about what's gone on before. Yet all I can say is what's happened in the spell that we have had so far, and probably out of the 5 games, I've been pleased in 3 of them, in terms of performance-wise, and include Man City in that. 2 of them probably nowhere near where we should be and can be, but like I always say, we keep chipping away at them. We keep giving them our ideas and how we see the game, how we want it played, and what we expect of them individually and as a team. And hopefully the signs will start improving.
Yeah, another good positive of the past week. All of your strikers have been involved, playing a big part. Goals for Jack and for Johnson, and then Ricky, of course, winning the penalty at the weekend.
Yeah, it's been nice. I mean, look, we've got good competition up there. Obviously, Callum Morton hasn't played in the last couple of games either, so there's real good competition with Ricky, with Jack, with Jono, with Kai Corbett's coming through, Joe Taylor's coming through. The competition's fierce on the top end of the pitch, which is great, and they're all training well. It's given us decisions to make every time we're coming around to pick a team.
Yeah, great for Joe to have seen a bit of match action over the past week. From what you're saying, then Kai not too far behind him could be involved soon.
Yeah, I mean Kai's a really good finisher, and I've seen that in training already. Obviously it's difficult for him at the minute because the forwards, like you say, are scoring goals and impacting games. But he's definitely one for the future at the football club. We can see that already with the way he trains and how he goes about it. So competition's really good, and it's pleasing to see that we've got some young players coming through as well.
Yeah, it's an obvious thing to say, but it's massive, isn't it? As we saw at the weekend, falling behind twice. But when you have got that power in attack, when you have got players who can go and get those goals, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, look, Johnson and Jack in particular, really, the 2 of them can score goals, as we know. We've seen Jono getting 30-odd goals last year. We've seen Jack do the same. At League One, he scored in the Championship level consistently for Derby as well. So the both of them can score goals. It's just about getting them in the right places, getting them in the right frame of mind, getting them right physically. In time they'll understand. Jack obviously knows how I work, but John will understand more of how we want to work. And it was pleasing to see he deserved the goals the other day because off the back of the performance against Bournemouth, where I thought he was excellent, and Jack scored. It's almost like a reversal on the next one. So. And then again, Ricky's made a good impact. Again, he's knocking on the door every time we're picking a team. It's nice to see.
Yeah, and with Jack, Johnson and Ricky, because they've had their injury problems, and I guess because you're new in through the door as well, do you feel there's plenty more in the tank, more that we can see over the coming weeks?
Hopefully. I mean, look, it's key for us now to keep them fit for the rest of the season. So we got to be mindful of that, as well with the amount of games that we're playing. So we don't want to be losing anybody. Again, we want to try and keep the majority of the group that's fit now. We want to keep them fit for the rest of the season, and obviously try and get some of the lads who are on the injury table back as quickly as we can. I would say none of them are quite near it, but we just want to keep working with them and try and get them back. If it's not for this season, then hopefully for next.
Yeah, you've spoken about Nathan Thompson, and we know where Dan Butler is. With Joel Randall, when we had a chat a few weeks back, you were just assessing his situation. Is that any clearer? Has he got a chance of being back before the end?
Again, it's a tricky situation really with Joel. He's had numerous injuries and niggles and knocks. He's at a place at the minute where we give him a couple of days to go and visit his family. Obviously, he's an Exeter boy. He's down here on his own. He didn't look great in terms of him when I seen him around the training ground. So last week we gave him a few days away. He came back, started to do some stuff on the grass, but again still feeling still feeling pain in the outside of his knee, which is attached coming down the side of his leg from his IT band. So he's gone to see a specialist today to see if we can get a second opinion. It's just been a frustrating season for the boy, and his mental well-being, him, is more important at this present time to make sure, because he's probably not been used to this. Well, I know he hasn't, and he obviously just needs to get his confidence back. He needs to get a clear indication of what is actually wrong with this injury, and then we can take it from there. But at the minute, again, it's just all ifs and buts until we hear back from the specialist.
Yeah, it doesn't get much tougher than that, really, to come to a new club, and then he had a thigh injury that kept him out for a while. Then he had COVID. Now he's got this knee problem. You can see why, from a mental perspective, that's really tough.
and it's really important. And I think, one thing this football club does really well, and I've seen it already, is there's a lot of people in and around the football club who do look after the players' mental well-being and making sure everything's good in their family life. And if we need to resource or reach out to some private help and stuff like that for the players, we do that as well. So it's important for Joel, really, is to get to the bottom of this injury, and then he can, because we know what a player he is. I've watched him myself over the years and how well he done at Exeter, and the football club think highly of him, and he's going to be a big player for this football club. So it's important that we get him right.
Has Sammy got a chance for Wednesday night, or is the game going to come too soon?
Yeah, Sammy's good. He's trained the last couple of days, so he's available for selection. And
with Jack Taylor having had the 2 starts over the past week, of course you'll be keeping a close eye on him. Is he progressing okay?
Yeah, Jack's been good. I mean, he's had a lovely progression, where he's had 45 minutes for the 23s. I think he might have had about 60 odd minutes at Bournemouth, and then he's gone 80 odd minutes in the Stoke game. So lovely progression for Jack. Yes, still mindful that we have to keep him fit for the rest of the season. So again, it does come into the thinking. But again, big player when he's fit and fine.
What do you make of Swansea then? The stat that really stands out with them is how much they like to hold the ball.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got a unique style of play. I've come up against Russell's teams over the years, MK Dons and Swansea. They're very much a possession-based football team, but they've got good players within that team, real good championship players. So again, it's going to be another tough game for us. Like I said, after the game against Stoke, we're going to have to be real disciplined and resolute in terms of our shape and our structure. But we have to carry a threat when we're on the ball, and we have to make sure that we're good in those moments. So we've been working hard the last couple of days. It's been nice the last couple of days. We've had a little bit more time to work and get our ideas across. So hopefully the boys can go and put the plan together and get us the 3 points that obviously we desperately need. But the 3 points comes on the back of a performance, and we keep stressing it to the players that it just doesn't happen. You have to perform. You have to make sure we're good defensively. You have to make sure the structure of the team's good, and then we can be able to affect the game at the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, as you said, that focus is massive when perhaps you've had a period off the ball and you're having to keep your defensive shape and focus on all of that. But then you get your moment to actually have your time on the ball, and you need to make it happen and be looking the other way.
Absolutely. I mean, look, their style of play is difficult to deal with sometimes. They've got a lot of movement, a lot of rotation. Sometimes their centre half ends up as a centre forward, and that's not an exaggeration, by the way. It's just the way they play. Cal Naughton sort of way has a free role in the team. So you have to be really disciplined in your shape. You have to be organised. You have to make sure that from goalkeeper to number 9, the communication's good all through the team. And then when we get it, we have to show a real energy and a real application about us to move forward and play forward and get people moving in behind them.